Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of ILLflips. I'm Jordan Bray Brown from ILLstrips. Last week I made a video going through the manga I picked up while I was in Japan. I went to several of the Mandarake, and my favourite store that I visited was the Mandarake in Fukuoka Prefecture, where I was doing my artist residency. While I was in the store, one of the staff was very kind and helped me find some stuff. He gave me some tips, and he gave me a tip off that there was going to be a sale of Gekiga King Series online on the Sara site, the Sara Mandarake, come Monday. So I took his advice and I had a look, and lo and behold, there was quite a lot of stuff available and at a pretty good price. I think everything was maybe about 250 yen to 300 yen. And a lot of Kazuo Koike stories and just a whole mix of artists and also some stuff that I'd been looking for. So I thought it'd be fun to do an unboxing video, which didn't go very well because I was halfway through it and realized that my storage was full. So I'm just going to start from the top and go through some of this stuff. Second time lucky, still getting used to this video stuff. So without further ado, I'll just start going through some of these books. At least they're already opened. There was a lot of crackling plastic in the previous video, so maybe that would have been a little bit annoying on the ears anyway. So this series is, I think it's called like something doll, like dead doll, dummy doll. And it is this is the Gekiga King Series. I think the covers are pretty nice. This is the first volume in a set of, I think, 8 or 9. This is all kind of crime, you know, crime noir, violence, sex, nudity, similar in vein to what we looked at last week, more or less. More cyborgs. The art's pretty nice. Seems to be a lot of crash test dummies going on in this, and the title is Dummy Doll of some sort. The English translation is probably strange. A lot of high-speed chases with these crash test dummies. Volkswagen seem to play a part. Pretty sharp art. Some fun content. As I said, I liked the kind of almost like a pencil sketch cover, which is nice. Melting crash test dummies who are maybe cyborgs. It's hard to tell. I need to go through this stuff better. I mean, this is pretty much the first time looking at this, apart from opening them all about 10 minutes ago. But everything looks pretty good. So I thought it'd be fun just to do a flip through for what was inside. This is some Mieko Kawasaki, who we looked at last week. She is a female mangaka who was set to be a geisha, but she wanted to be a mangaka, so she, I guess, left her prefecture and went to Tokyo, where she became a manga artist. And her art is pretty great. It's pretty full on, pretty hardcore. A lot of sex, violence. But she's an amazing drawer. So I quite enjoy her stuff. And there's quite a lot of it, so I've just been trying to track down as much of it as I can. She's good at drawing cars. They don't have that traced off feel that sometimes vehicles do in some of these manga series. There's quite a lot of life in her work, even though it's very well drawn. And this series, like, there's always kind of a bit of a witchy feel to her comics, and some kind of military aspect in this. I think this is like female warriors or something. But there's 3 volumes in this set, so that's number 1, and it's number 2. Kind of military aspect to it. And then there's this kind of witch character that pops up. This lady. And I don't know if she's a protagonist or antagonist, but I like it. And yeah, as I said, there's always kind of like an underlying occult vibe to these, especially I saw in number 3, I think there's literal some orgies going on, some kind of like sex ritual stuff. Let's see if I can find it. Probably starts around here. There we go. This dude's wearing a wolf head. Masks. Kind of eyes wide shut buzz. Got all the girls in their camos. There's our witchy lady. And as I said, I think it's called like Female Warriors at War or something. I can't remember. But it's good stuff. And I'm always happy to have a look through more of Kawasaki's work. So that's 3 volumes of that. And then I was excited to get one of these. Well, I got 3, the first 3 in this series. This is Brothers, which I saw on Sean's channel, the Japan Book Hunter. And it seems to be a story about 2 brothers, a big brother and a little brother. It's kind of unsure whether they're good guys or bad guys, but they're at war with these gangs. But then, big brother appears to be a cyborg as he gets shot in the eye. And he's invincible, and he fucks up the other dude. But the drawing is cool. It's nice art throughout, and gets pretty wild. I think it's kind of almost some kind of military Terminator action going on in the background, which there's some kind of Nazi stuff going on later too. So I don't know if it's like set, I guess it's set in like the 30s. It's got that kind of mob feel to it. So I guess that would make sense. It's like maybe if they had Terminators during World War II. Here we go. Oh, there's Reagan though, so I don't really understand, to be honest. Maybe it's the 80s. Be a good one to get in English, but again, probably not going to happen. So that's the first volume of that. And there's a couple of other volumes that I'll come to, but we'll just pick these up as I go along. I think this is also Kazuo Koike story at least. Not bad. A little workout. Yeah, like I said, I haven't gone through these properly, so I'm seeing a lot of this stuff for pretty much the first time also. That's fun stuff. Some interesting angles in this manga. This was, I think this is a 2-volume set. And it's sort of samurai vibe. pretty girthy. Not bad. Not really that into the samurai stuff, but as I said, they're all going for pretty cheap on Mandarake's website, so why not? Look at this purple cover though. There's 2 of those. I'm just gonna start grabbing these. This is like kind of an Eskimo setting. Some igloos. Some sexy time in the igloos. Best way to keep warm. Must be like maybe Alaska or something. And there's a fair bit of whaling also. Yeah, there's really a comic and manga about everything. So it makes sense that there is whaling manga. Eskimo manga. Eating some whale blubber intestines. Something weird going on here. Looks fun actually. And the art is nice. It's all pretty sharp art in these. I mean, there's not much, nothing too quirky in any of these that I picked up. But hey, these are the other 2 volumes of the Brother series. This is number 2. Starts off with this nice kind of orange color spotting. Kind of post-apocalyptic gangs. Oh, that's a bat. Hard to say what's going on here. But the brothers are back and they're wearing fatigues, throwing grenades. I like their pattern on their camos. And this art's pretty cool. Now they're going full Terminator. Big brother and little brother. So yeah, this goes on and on. Got some schematic stuff, and then yeah, little mustache man comes in. I don't know if that's meant to be set in the past. There's little laboratories, maybe they're making some sisters. Yeah, this would be a fun one to read. It's pretty wild. What is happening? Brothers. And this is volume 3. I like that cover. With the skeleton right up front. That's what I was talking about, the very much traced off kind of vehicle stuff. Don't really like that kind of stuff. Yeah, Kawasaki does a better job. The labs look cool though. They're making these. Oh look, yeah, that's nicer. Sketchier. Yeah, the labs where they're making these brother cyborg Terminators. There's a lot of sex in these comics too. There always is. Can't make robots without it. And the sideboard designs are pretty great. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I think there's maybe 8 of these. 8 or 9. Fun stuff. Next up is this Kazu Kanimura. It's kind of a cop story, and it seems to be set in New York. King Gekiga Series. Also Kazukuike, and of course they did Lady Snowblood together. But this style of drawing is much more cartoony looking than some of Kanimura's other stuff. That's fun. It's kind of, it seems more playful. Maybe a more whimsical story. I really like his art though. It's always great. This guy's character design is pretty sweet too. That like love heart eye patch. Kind of like your Cop Nick Fury from 80s manga. Yeah, this looks like a fun series. And pretty readable, I'd say. It's not a huge amount of text. Something like this would be fun to just skim through. You wouldn't really even need it to be translated. The French are always good at translating Kanimura's work. There's not a huge amount of it in English. I really like this cover though. That's kind of was my initial attraction to it, was like the blues and the pinks and this like yellow background. Quite campy, this whole comic though. I guess maybe his eyelashes. A strange choice. But maybe I need to read the story to find out why. This is volume 2. Also like these colors. Lilac and pink and yellows. And it's more of the same. Good fun, campy cop story. It looks like Kanimura has drawn this a lot faster than his usual stuff. Still great, but it's much more cartoony. I like these textures that he always does for his fashion. Rosebud. It's a fun spread. Yeah, they're sweet. Then I've wanted these for quite a while. It's just a kind of a boxing fighting manga, Bakudan. And there's quite a lot of Bakudan with this. It's like a 2-volume set. And I always like the look of them. Such I can't remember the name of the artist, but there's always these great big blocky characters. It's like big square bodies and rectangular noses. So I was happy to add these while I was picking up the King Gekiga stuff online. They also had these in stock. Look at this dude. Oh. Look at this. And it's always nice when there's just like 2 volumes of something rather than, I don't know, 8 or something. It just seems like something more approachable if you were to try and translate this. Look at this guy. It actually seems fun to draw. Crazy proportions. So that's the first volume. This is number 2. And it's probably much of the same stuff really. But do a quick little flip through anyway. Just really fun drawing inside these. Happy to have them. Yeah. Wow. Some killer bees. Yeah, you get the idea. And probably just a couple of more of these kind of crime stories. Can't really remember what this one is about, but yeah, it's all just, it was all like, as I said, 200, 250 yen, so it was worth just grabbing a bit and seeing what. So this is, I think this is Ikigami maybe. It looks very like Crying Freeman. Yeah, I think it is. Yep. Oh. Gun in the mouth. Exploding head. Yeah. Good stuff. A lot of head wounds. Face smashes. But also pretty refined, you know? Very well drawn. It's kind of crazy to see that level of violence when it's that well drawn. Usually it gets more just ridiculous or whatever, but it's still pretty wild. A lot of nicely drawn guns. Dude falling off the bridge. This is a fun one. Wow. That's a cool character design. Some scary looking dudes. And this is A Revengeful Brood Howls in Darkness. I can't remember the name of the title of this, but no, it's not actually Ikigami. The Hero Ego. This is Rich Ikigami though. Crying Freeman, the first volume of this. And now that I look at it, no, they're not that similar really. Just a few little things in the drawing of the faces from the last one. There's similarities. And I haven't read this series. I would like to read it. It's on the list to read it in English. But I just thought it'd be fun to grab the first volume and have a look at it. Amazing art, and I'm sure the story is great with that character. Got some head wounds in this one too. I like that mask. Yeah, I don't know anything about this, which is something I need to amend. And you can buy the floppy comics, but I'm sure there's a collection of them too in English. Must have a look. Wild drawing. He's got the iconic tattoos. What a spread. Yeah, this looks great. Pretty cool. Yep, need to track that down in English. And another Gekiga King Series. This is volume 4 in series Kazukuike. You know, similar vein to the other stuff that I just showed off. Not as exciting looking though. That's kind of cool. But I don't know. You'd have to read it to find out. But you know, most of the time when you're grabbing this stuff, you're looking for some nice art. This is nice. Creepy. It's got a bit of everything though. Yokohama. Again, unsure about this series, but just do a little flip through. Looks kind of more on the horror side of things. A little witchy maybe, a little occult. Set in Paris now. Air France. This is nice. Air France bus in London. It's weird. I like it. That's pretty girthy. Number 8 in the series. Cool cover. Nice colors. And I'm trying to think what else there is. There's a couple of samurai stories. Just do a quick little skim through these. Some Shigeru Mizuki, Gekkan. These are pretty amazing always, just the detail in his backgrounds, the natural environments, well, whatever, just stunning. A little bit of cosmic stuff. Look at that. Jungles, mountains, cities, you can do it all. Forests, really amazing. And then he's got his very cartoony characters to populate it. And there's always going to be some monsters, some yokai scattered throughout. It's free, yeah. It's got it all in here. Got some hieroglyphs, castles. Crazy you did all this with only one arm. Amazing. Those guys are pretty iconic, those characters. Dude with the whiskers and the eyeball guy. Always nice to look at some Mizuki. I like that cover. It's got this kind of like shoe bill bird or something. It's kind of eye catching. And what else? This cover was enticing. Is this the Gekiga as well? No, it's Action Comics. Fun cover, fun insides. Fencing masks, motorcycles. Sexy time. Yeah, looks good. Little peeping Tom. Nice. This is, I can't even remember. Also, yeah, Kazukuike again. Another kind of cop story. Different artist, not Kenimura, of course. Looks more modern. I know he died in 2019, so this must be a much later series. I don't know the name of the artist. Mad Bill 34. Cartoon by Noriyoshi Inkwe. Sorry, bad pronunciation. Meh. I think I prefer this one. And I think there's just maybe, yeah, there's this Ishii Takashi two-parter. This one wasn't opened. Bear with me while I crack this open. I think this is like it's called like Black Angel or something Angel. Now this is probably going to be pretty hardcore content, because Ishi Takashi usually is. There's always a lot of gambling, motorcycles, and much worse. I actually think I remember looking at this in the Mandarake in Fukuoka, but I got some of his other stuff instead. But it's pretty nice. I think it might be in. I got a collection of his, and I think some of this might be inside that. This is pretty wild though. I can't remember the name of that game, but it's a reoccurring theme in a lot of these stories. Yeah, Ishi Takashi. And there's two of these. Yeah. Nice stuff, you get the idea. And then this is a weird one. Again, don't know much about it, but I like the cover, and the artwork on the inside looks pretty cool too. Very strange imagery. Got this little kind of skeletal dragon, some floating worlds, some nice patterns, textures throughout. Just did a quick flip through it here on. There's this dragon again, but the text is weird. I don't know what's going on with it, but it just looks strange. It's like computer text, computer font. I guess they probably, I don't know. Anyway, there's just something weird about it. There's also a lot of text, just pages like this. But when there is drawing, it's nice drawing. Weird frog people, like those. Yeah, there's some bizarre imagery in this one. Papa. Again, yeah, if you guys know any of these, put something in the comments, because pretty clueless on this one. These are nice, these kind of like ink wash gray textures with little bits of white dotted through them. And the text, yeah, I think it's because it doesn't really fit the word balloons properly. I don't know. Anyway, we're not here for the word balloons. Big enough book too. There's quite a bit in it. More of this text. Strange. Looks like there's kind of an encyclopedia of then like creatures in the back. Maybe not. Some kind of UFO. Flying saucers throughout also. Yeah, it's a wacky looking story. This character with like this kind of dog man character. With these weird black eyes. Good stuff. So yeah, there you have it. Big old box of mostly Gekiga King Series, but picked up some other bits. When you're ordering from Mandarake and it's coming to Ireland, you may as well fill that box, especially if everything's like 250, 300 yen. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you want more of this kind of content. And if you have any comments on any of these books, stuff that I might not have touched on, things I don't know, then feel free to leave a comment. And have a nice evening.